There is a shark in the ocean that has bitten whales, dolphins, great white sharks, nuclear submarines, and every single bite it has ever taken is a perfect circle, not approximately circular, not roughly circular, a geometrically precise, clean-edged, perfectly round plug of flesh removed with surgical accuracy from whatever it decides to bite, including, as I mentioned, nuclear submarines. That is not an exaggeration. That is a documented event that caused enough concern in the United States Navy that it triggered a formal investigation and an engineering response. A shark caused a national security concern, not because it was large, not because it was fast, not because it was aggressive in any conventional sense, because of the shape of the bite it left behind. This is the Cookiecutter shark, and it is one of the most geometrically precise, biologically sophisticated, and genuinely bizarre predators in the entire ocean. Stay with me, because this one genuinely surprised me when I first looked at it closely, and I think it will surprise you too. The Cookiecutter shark Isistius brasiliensis belongs to the family Dalatiidae, a family of small deep-water sharks whose members are generally obscure, rarely encountered, and poorly understood compared to their more famous relatives. The Cookiecutter was first formally described in 1824 by French naturalists Jean-René, Constant Coy, and Joseph Paul Gaimard during the Frasinet expedition, one of the early French scientific voyages of circumnavigation. They named the genus Isistius after Isis, the Egyptian goddess of light, because even in 1824, the first thing scientists noticed about this animal was its glow. The Cookiecutter shark is bioluminescent. Its entire underside ventral surface glows with a cold, continuous green light, not flashing, not pulsing in the way many deep-sea animals bioluminesce, a steady, consistent, soft green glow. And for most of the 19th and early 20th century, that glow was essentially all science knew about it. Occasional specimens were caught, described, filed away. The bite, the circular wound that would eventually give the animal its common name, was observed on whales and large fish long before the perpetrator was identified. For decades, these circular wounds appearing on large marine animals were attributed to various causes: parasites, disease, unusual bacterial infections. Nobody connected the wounds to a shark, because nothing about the shark's size suggested it was capable of leaving a wound of that nature on an animal as large as a sperm whale. It was not until the 1970s that the connection was definitively established when ichthyologist Everett Jones formally documented the relationship between the shark's jaw anatomy and the circular wounds appearing on large marine animals globally. A shark that had been leaving its signature on the largest animals in the ocean for millions of years before anyone figured out it was responsible. Now, the animal itself, because the Cookiecutter shark's body is like everything else about it, not what you expect. Adults reach between 42 and 56 centimeters in length. That is roughly the size of a large cucumber, 42 to 56 centimeters. This is the animal that leaves circular wounds on sperm whales, on great white sharks, on nuclear submarines, something the size of a large cucumber. Its body is cylindrical torpedo shaped with two small dorsal fins positioned far back toward the tail, giving it a silhouette that looks less like a conventional shark and more like a cigar with fins. Its eyes are disproportionately large, adapted for the low-light conditions of the mesopelagic zone where it lives, between 1,000 and 3,700 meters during the day, and its underside. The Cookiecutter shark's entire ventral surface is covered in photophores, the specialized light-producing cells found in many deep-sea organisms. These photophores produce a continuous green bioluminescent glow. But here is the detail that makes this glow not just interesting but functionally critical. Around the throat and lower jaw there is a collar of dark, non-bioluminescent tissue. This dark collar does not glow. So from below looking upward, the Cookiecutter's glowing underside disappears into the faint blue light filtering down from the surface above. It becomes invisible by matching the ambient light, classic counter-illumination, except there is that one dark spot, that dark collar, which does not match the background light, and which looks, from below, exactly like a small fish, a small bioluminescent fish, a common food source for large predators in the open ocean. The Cookiecutter shark is not just camouflaged, it is a lure. Its own body is bait. Large predators see what appears to be a small fish glowing in the water above them. They approach to eat it, and then the Cookiecutter bites them. The prey became the predator, through nothing more than light. Now the bite. because the bite is the thing. The bite is why this animal exists in your awareness right now. And understanding it requires understanding the jaw anatomy, because the jaw anatomy is genuinely extraordinary. The Cookiecutter shark has two distinct sets of teeth. The upper teeth are small, narrow, and numerous, approximately 37 teeth in the upper jaw, designed for gripping and anchoring. The lower teeth are completely different. There are approximately 25 to 31 lower teeth, but they are not independent. They are interlocked. The lower teeth of the Cookiecutter shark are fused at their bases into a single continuous blade, a serrated band of tooth material that functions as one unified cutting instrument rather than a row of individual teeth. A saw blade. Biological, replaceable, self-sharpening, and replaced as a complete unit. When the Cookiecutter sheds its lower teeth, it sheds all of them simultaneously as one connected piece. Not individually, the way most sharks shed teeth. All at once. The entire lower jaw blade replaced in a single event. Now here is how the bite actually works. The Cookiecutter latches onto its target using the small upper teeth, anchoring itself to the surface of whatever it has attached to. Then it rotates its entire body. A full axial rotation, spinning around its own central axis, while maintaining grip with the upper teeth. The lower jaw blade, rotating with the body, cuts through the flesh in a perfect circle. The rotation continues until the plug, a cylinder of flesh, separates cleanly from the host animal. The Cookiecutter shark swallows the plug, releases its grip, and disappears back into the darkness. The entire interaction takes seconds. The wound left behind is a perfect circular crater. Clean edges, precise geometry, consistent diameter, every time. Now the list of documented Cookiecutter bite victims. Because this list is extraordinary. Sperm whales, the largest toothed predators on Earth, carry Cookiecutter scars. Blue whales, fin whales, humpback whales, spinner dolphins, bottlenose dolphins, whale sharks, the largest fish in the ocean, great white sharks, mako sharks, tuna, swordfish, marlin. Essentially any large marine animal that moves through the tropical and subtropical open ocean is a potential target. Cookiecutter bites have been documented on animals across every major taxonomic group of large marine megafauna. None of them are immune. None of them are too large. None of them are too dangerous. Because the Cookiecutter is not fighting. It is not competing. It is not engaging in predator-prey interaction in any conventional sense. It latches on, rotates, takes its plug, leaves. The interaction is over before the host animal fully registers what happened. A sperm whale that has lived for decades, that has battled giant squid at depth, that has navigated thousands of miles of open ocean, that carries the scars of a lifetime of hard use, also carries the neat circular scars of Cookiecutter encounters. Multiple ones. Because once you are large enough to be worth approaching, the Cookiecutter finds you. And then there are the submarines. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, the United States Navy began documenting damage to the rubber acoustic coating covering certain submarine hulls, specifically circular holes. Perfect circles cut through the neoprene rubber acoustic tiles designed to reduce sonar detectability. The damage was initially attributed to manufacturing defects, then to equipment failure, then to sabotage was briefly considered. Eventually the circular shape, the size, and the locations where the submarines operated led investigators to the correct conclusion: Cookiecutter sharks. Attracted presumably by the electromagnetic signatures of submarine electrical systems, or possibly by the acoustic properties of the vessels, or possibly by some other stimulus not yet fully understood. Biting through military hardware the same way they bite through whale flesh, with the same perfect circular geometry. The Navy subsequently redesigned the acoustic coating on affected submarines to use a harder material less susceptible to Cookiecutter damage. A shark the size of a large cucumber forced a redesign of United States Navy submarine equipment. Here is the detail about the Cookiecutter shark that changes the entire picture. It performs one of the largest daily vertical migrations of any shark species. During daylight hours, the Cookiecutter lives at depths between 1,000 and 3,700 meters. In the mesopelagic zone, in near total darkness, safe from most predators, invisible, resting. Then at night it ascends. It migrates upward through the water column thousands of meters to the surface and near-surface layers where large marine animals congregate. It feeds. It takes its circular bites from whatever large animal it can attach to. And then before dawn, it descends again, back to depth, back to darkness, back to safety, every night. This daily commute covers a vertical distance that would be extraordinary for any animal. For a 50-centimeter shark, it is remarkable. And it means something important about the scale of cookie-cutter predation. Every large marine animal that moves through tropical and subtropical surface waters at night is operating in cookie-cutter territory. Whales surface to breathe at night. Dolphins feed at the surface at night. Large fish school near the surface at night. The cookie-cutter is there, in numbers that scientists believe are significant, though total population estimates are difficult to establish. The circular scars on large marine animals are not rare. They are common, abundant, expected, meaning the cookie-cutter is not an occasional curiosity. It is a regular, systematic, nightly presence in the surface waters of tropical and subtropical oceans worldwide, taking its plugs, returning to depth, night after night, for millions of years. The cookie-cutter shark forces a revision of something we assume about the ocean. We think of large animals as apex predators. We think of size as protection. We think of the hierarchy of the ocean as something like a pyramid with bigger animals at the top, smaller ones below. The cookie-cutter does not respect that pyramid. A 50-centimeter shark takes circular bites out of the largest animals in the ocean, not by being stronger, not by being faster, not by any conventional measure of predatory capability, but by being precisely, specifically, geometrically engineered for one action: latch, rotate, detach, leave. The entire body plan: the bioluminescent lure, the fused lower jaw blade, the small anchoring upper teeth, the cylindrical body designed for axial rotation. Every single feature exists to execute that one action with maximum efficiency. And then there is the glow. The cookie-cutter glows continuously, not to hunt, not to communicate, to attract. It turned its own body into a lure for animals 100 times its size. It made the largest predators in the ocean come to it, and then it took something from them. That is not just biology. That is a level of evolutionary sophistication that should genuinely change how you think about what small means in the ocean. In the ocean, small does not mean harmless. Small does not mean prey. Small does not mean anything except you have not looked closely enough yet. The cookie-cutter shark is 50 centimeters long. It lives in near total darkness for most of its life. It glows continuously with light it uses as bait. It has a jaw that functions as a single rotating blade. It has bitten whales, dolphins, great white sharks, and United States Navy submarines. Every bite it has ever taken is a perfect circle. And it has been doing this in essentially the same form for millions of years. Without fame, without recognition, in darkness, every night, rising from depth, taking what it needs, descending again, leaving its circular signature on the largest animals in the ocean. A signature so precise, so consistent, so geometrically perfect, that for decades nobody believed a shark could be responsible. That is the ocean, full of things that are smaller than you expect and more capable than you imagined, full of systems so refined, so perfectly calibrated, that they make our own engineering look provisional by comparison. And most of them we have never heard of. If this is the kind of content that genuinely changes how you think about the world we live on, subscribe, because there is so much more of this waiting. Every single word of it is true. Every single animal already out there, right now, in the dark, rising,